Android has always been a great operating system for mobile devices, and with Android we can experience the joy of using various other ROMs by the different ROM developers, and one of the most famous one is Cyanogenmod. So today in this new video we will see top 10 cool tips and tricks of Cyanogenmod 13. So without any further ado and delay, let's get started. So guys, before starting off, I would like to show that my device is running on Cyanogenmod 13 by going into the settings, about the phone, and Cyanogenmod version. As you can see, it's Marshmallow and it's Cyanogenmod. So now let's get into the tips and tricks. So guys, the first one is called the System UI Tuner. So to go there, first you should go into the quick settings menu, and then when you see the quick gear icon over top, just keep holding it for a while till you see it rotating. I guess you guys can see it rotate. After it has rotated for some time, leave it. Now you can do the things like rearranging the quick toggles, adding quick toggles, removing quick toggles, etc. For example, I want this invert color toggle to be in the first, so I'll just drag and bring it in the first, and if I don't want, I can just go and delete it. And if I want to click the plus icon, it will show you the list of quick toggles that you haven't applied in your quick toggles menu. So guys, the second trick is that you can allow the permissions of root to different components of your device. For example, you can give it to the apps, the ADB, etc. I'm going to show you. To go there, first you should go into the settings, and then you should go into the about phone and tap the build number for 7 times. And after you tap the build number for 7 times, it will say you have enabled development settings. Now go back, and now you'll see a new section which says developer options. Click that option, and now as you scroll down, you will see the root access. Click on that. Now it will show you 4 bunch of options, that is disabled, apps only, ADB only, and apps and ADB. So you can tinker around with this. You can grant the root permissions to the apps, to the ADB, etc. So guys, the third one is called the audio effects. It's not in the settings menu, but it's actually an app. To go there, first you should go into the app drawer, and then you will see it in the first row which says audio effects. This app is even present in the previous versions of the Cyanogenmod, and we hope that it will be in the next versions of Cyanogenmod also. So now first, after seeing the app, you should go and click ahead. And now this is actually acts like an amplifier, and it changes the bass level and the reverb, the virtual sound effects, etc. You can even get different effects. For example, now I am in the normal mode. You can go to the classic. And now after you have been happy with all the options, you can even change the devices in which you want to amplify the music or audio by going into the top section which says speaker. We have different options like headset, speaker, USB, Bluetooth, and wireless. You can select the option and you are good to go. From the previous trick, you might be assuming that there is only one such app which allows us to modify and use our device to the fullest, but you are entirely wrong. There is even an app called Screencast. It allows us to record the screen of our device, and the best part of it is that it doesn't lag, and it comes pre-bundled with almost 99% of all the Cyanogenmod. It is the app I use a lot to record the screen whenever I need it. So this is one of the great app in the Cyanogen OS that I use. And it doesn't come with a user interface, which we like to say a UI. When we click the application, it shows us only 2 options: start recording and exit. So guys, the fifth one is of the status bar. In this we can customize the status bar of our device. To do that, we should go into the settings menu, and then we should scroll down the tab which says status bar, which is under the personal category. Then tap on it, and now we get a whole bunch of options. This is one of the most highlighting features of Cyanogenmod. It allows us to customize the status bar. The first 5 are pretty self-explanatory, but last 3 are the ones which I am going to explain now. So the first one is brightness control. It says adjust brightness by sliding across the status bar. If we enable this, then if we slide across the status bar, it decreases or increases the brightness. See, I have not gone into the quick toggles menu, but I can change the brightness. The second one says show notification count. It shows the number of pending notifications. For example, you get a whole bunch of notifications, and if you don't go in a particular one, it will show the pending one. And the quick pull down is one of my favorite. After tapping that, we get 3 options: off, right and left. It actually does what is, it brings directly to the quick toggles menu rather than going 2 times and sliding down. I have set it to right, and now when I slide from the right, I directly go into the quick settings menu. But whereas if I do from the left, I have to do it 2 times to go there. So this is one of the quick handy tools of the status bar. Android Nougat 7.1 and above have the cool feature called multi-window. You can enjoy the same feature in a device running Cyanogenmod with Android version 6.0.1. To get that feature, you should go into the settings and scroll down until developer options, and then you should go into the drawing section, which is right over here, and then you should go into the multi-window mode and enable it. It gives a warning, says that this is a highly experimental feature and it might crash. Trust me guys, I have used it for some times and it doesn't crash that often. So enable it, and now after we go back to home, we press the menu button, and now we get a separate option of the capture button in the camera. So for example, now I want the multi-window of YouTube and settings. So I'll click settings and it will ask 3 layouts. Any one of them is fine. I'll select the second one. As you can see guys, now it has been selected. So guys, the next one is a physical button related one, that is the power button. So generally when we long press our home button, we get few options. For example, now I have only the option of power off enabled. If we want additional options or we want to remove some, we should go into the settings, and then we should go into the buttons tab, which is under the device category. After going there, you will see all the physical buttons like the power button, home button, menu button, volume buttons, etc. We should go into the power button and tap on it. After going there, we get few options. For my device, I have the reboot menu, screenshot, airplane mode and user switcher. And now when I take on reboot menu and screenshot, and now if I press my home button, then we get the options of reboot and screenshot as well. So this is one of the tricks of Cyanogenmod 13. All the way to number 10. Now we are on number 8. This one can be pretty handy for the people who are more interactive with their devices on their lock screen. We know that the lock screen has 3 shortcuts, but do you know that we can customize them if your device is running Cyanogenmod? If you don't know, then this tip will be pretty handy too. Just you should go into settings, and after you go into settings, you should go into the device category and the 5th option which says lock screen. After going there in the general section, you should go into the lock screen shortcuts. Now by default, we have 3 shortcuts. They are camera, unlock and dialer. For example, I don't want the dialer or I want to change it. So if you don't want anything, you can keep as none. But if you want, you can select some application. For example, we can keep apps, contact, email folder, WhatsApp camera, WhatsApp chat, etc. You can change all 3 of them, and this is a pretty handy trick to know if your device is running Cyanogenmod. So the next one in the list is called system profile. This actually makes your device behave according to the surroundings in which you are. For example, you are in a place where you don't want the phone to make noise and disturb you. So you can go into the system profiles menu and change it. To do that, you should go into the settings, and after you go into the settings, you should go into the personal category, and the first option says system profiles. After going there are three options: automobile, default and silent. And by default it will be set to default, but you can change it to automobile. For example, when you are in a car, you can set it to automobile, and when you want your phone to be silent, not make any noise, you can keep it in the silent. There are even the setting gear icon beside each of the option. If you tap on them, it gives additional options. For example, you can control the GPS, Wi-Fi, data connection of the device. So this is one of the tricks of Cyanogenmod 13, which I use a lot. So guys, the last trick is probably the best of all the tricks, and in this you can change the function of the buttons at the bottom of your device. That is the menu button, the home button and the back button. So to do that, you should go into the settings menu, and after you go, you should scroll until you get into the category of device, and then you should go into buttons. And then we see the various physical buttons that we have on our device, like the power button, home button, menu button, volume buttons, etc. We can even change the functionality of the other buttons, but I am going to say the functions of only the top three buttons that are there at the down. So for example, now when I press the home button, I want to change the action to something else. For example, I want to change it to the recent app switcher. So I select the option, and then when I press the menu button, it takes me to the recent switcher. So in this way, you can even change the functionality of buttons. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you like this kind of videos, then be sure to hit that like button down below and hit that big red subscribe button down below to get content from my channel. So I hope you guys see my next video. Peace out.